Hello, it is I, Dragon Suit, also known as Saltosaur in game. In today's video, I'll be explaining the basics of Minecraft's current combat system, and any items used to fight mobs or other players. Please note that the content in this video may be subject to change, as Minecraft is a game that's constantly being updated. In addition, this video is the first of two parts. Be sure to stay tuned for the second part, which covers enchantments. Now let's get right into the video. To start off, you may be wondering how the combat system works. A player can use the same button that they use to break blocks in order to attack. But Minecraft's combat is not just about hitting a target until they die. In current versions of the game, the combat system is built on a system called cooldowns. Upon attacking, a cooldown indicator will appear underneath a player's crosshair or hotbar depending on their settings. If an attack is made while the indicator is fully charged, a player will do their full damage. Otherwise, they will deal reduced damage towards their targets. This means that in current versions of the game, you'll need to time your attacks in order to maximize your damage. Normally, a player does 1 damage with their bare fists, but this can be increased by holding a melee weapon. Speaking of melee weapons, I'll be covering the 3 main ones used in combats, those being the sword, axe, and trident. A sword is a melee weapon that is crafted using 1 stick and 2 wooden planks, cobblestone blocks, iron ingots, gold ingots, or diamonds. Depending on the material that it is made from, a sword will deal more damage and will have more durability before it breaks. The weakest sword, a wooden sword, can only be used 60 times before breaking and does 4 damage. Whereas the strongest kind of sword, a diamond sword, does 7 damage and can be used over 1,000 times. A sword can output its full damage every 0.625 seconds, which means they attack at a rate of 1.6 attacks per second. Additionally, swords have an ability that can be used when the weapon is fully charged. Upon doing so, a sword will use a sweeping attack that will hit any nearby mobs or players. The trident is another melee weapon, but unlike a sword, a trident cannot be crafted. Instead, tridents are occasionally dropped by drowned mobs when they are killed. A trident can be used 251 times and does 9 damage on hit, and they will fully recover after 0.91 seconds, meaning that they attack at a rate of 1.1 hits per second. But the special thing about the trident is that it can be thrown by using right click. A trident will act like an arrow after being thrown and does 8 damage to whatever is on the receiving end. Upon hitting a surface, it will stick into the surface until picked up by the player that threw it. However, other players can pick it up too if the user is not careful. And finally, axes are created by combining 2 sticks and 3 wooden planks, cobblestone, iron ingots, gold ingots, or diamonds in the crafting table. Much like swords, an axe's durability and damage vary with the material that it is made out of. The weakest kind, the wooden axe, dealing 7 damage on hit and having 60 uses before breaking, and the strongest one, diamonds, dealing 9 damage and having over 1,000 uses before breaking. However, when used in combat, an axe will take double durability damage since it is technically a tool. Based on the type of axe, they will have a different cooldown time. The fastest being the diamond axe at exactly 1 attack per second. Additionally, axes have an ability in which when used against a player holding up a shield, they have a 25% or 1 in 4 chance of disabling the shields and preventing the player from using it for a short period of time. Disabling a shield is guaranteed, however, when the attack is done while sprinting. Next up are ranged weapons, which are items that can be used to attack from a long range. The bow is a weapon crafted from free sticks and free string. If a player holds right click with a bow and has at least one arrow in their inventory, an arrow will be placed in the bow and it will start charging. And upon releasing the button, the arrow will be fired in the direction that the player is looking. Charging the bow for longer allows the arrow to travel further and deal more damage. Bows have a minimum of 1 damage and have a maximum of 10 damage. And bows can fire any kind of arrow, including potion arrows and spectral arrows, allowing you to mix up your combat strategy. Crossbows are another ranged weapon that are crafted using 3 sticks, 2 string, 1 iron ingot, and 1 tripwire hook. Much like bows, crossbows can be charged to fire arrows. But arrows shot from a crossbow go further and can sometimes deal more damage. However, a crossbow can only be fired after being fully charged, and typically take longer to charge. Crossbows can deal 6 to 11 damage, and when loaded with a projectile, a player may choose to switch their hotbar slots and fire the weapon again later. In addition to arrows, they can also shoot firework rockets, which explode on impact with mobs or players. Well, that's all I have for this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to check out my other videos too. This is Dragon Suit, signing out.